Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. By the time you hear about a data breach, your information has already been exposed for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where hackers have access to your personal data. That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that monitors the dark web for your phone number, email, and social security number, sending real-time alerts if your info is found. It also includes a VPN, password manager, and data broker removal to help keep you safe. For a limited time, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and protect your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hi, I'm Frances Fry.
And I'm Ann Morris.
And we are the hosts of a new TED podcast called Fixable.
We've helped leaders at some of the world's most competitive companies solve all kinds of problems.
On our show, we'll pull back the curtain and give you the type of honest, unfiltered advice we usually reserve for top executives.
Maybe you have a coworker with boundary issues, or you want to know how to inspire and motivate your team.
No problem is too big or too small. Give us a call and we'll help you solve the problems you're stuck on. Find Fixable wherever you listen to podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
You better wait here. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Even 10 minutes is a long time to be awake from.
Culture Uncut, man. We're kicking it. Different type of vibes. We're doing a live show of the debates, so it's a different type of vibe. No intros, no shenanigans. Fellas, what's up with it, man? We're gonna get, I see Big T down at the bottom right now. We're gonna get that audio going in a little bit, but what's up with it, fellas?
Man, chilling, man. Just sitting back, letting this marinate, man. Watch this debate, bro. Watch old Donnie.
How Daddy doing? You proud of Daddy?
Donnie, what?
Big T. Big T. Let's get some audio going, man. Different type of format. They got commercial breaks for the first time.
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2%.
Man, you know they don't juice dog
They
on
just paid
Joe
24%.
and get that boy that shot.
Either one of those numbers. They've raised $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person
older guy.
You gotta respect Biden. You talking to Sleepy Joe shenanigans, bro. I'm trying to hit the policies, man.
Dealing with everything we have to do with. Look.
Oh, get your shit together, bro.
We finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Oh, Trump about
He's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people. They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Tana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion
to the
states.
so old, man. They just like they frowning all the time, bro. Look,
the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions.
Big Trump look like he's holding in a fart right now, boy.
Abortion medication.
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states.
Well, at least LeBron's not going to get old and have to get up out of that motherfucker.
Them boys going to be if you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also, and because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided, supported Roe. And that's this idea that they were all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered.
Man, don't listen to Mike. He was in my class. Mike ain't got no damn sense.
The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that. But here's the deal. There's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous. And they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
Hey, man,
there have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. Consider the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country. And they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion's concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't. But they would have done. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states.
Does that affect y'all when I turn it down?
This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run.
Yeah, I thought a motherfucker rebooted, didn't it?
And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the governor.
Man, none of you old motherfuckers need to be talking about women in their doggone rights, dog.
He's willing to, as we say,
y'all need to let women figure that shit out, man.
In the 9th month and kill the baby.
You old motherfuckers ain't got no business talking about this shit right now. Y'all need to talk about.
Nobody wants it to happen.
Some other shit.
Trump, I don't know what Trump got that after birth.
The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period.
Yeah, no state.
Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy, who's very conservative, on the Supreme Court, he takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? In fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks. Something very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security
work-wife
concerns.
issues right now.
Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated.
You just letting people in America.
That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where
hey man, Biden can't
40%
debate you and Trump
coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump? He can't run the country,
I really don't know what he said.
These words is tough to get out, bro.
I don't think he knows what he said either.
I'm with you, bro.
All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it.
With you when you're right, Big T.
He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America.
Man, Biden talked like he had a VA appointment.
Everywhere, all over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open.
Where Big T get that stat from, man?
Because I didn't have legislation. I said close.
That man said we got more terrorists than Al Qaeda.
History. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him.
But we're just trying to scare people.
We had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in caravans.
President Trump. President
Biden on that.
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al Qaeda person come in his administration.
Oh, come on, stumbling Joe.
American soldiers. Killed 3 American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there.
No, mother, you need to talk about these doggone kids who shooting up the damn schools.
The ones that they just raped.
The one who just doggone stormed the doggone.
Once again, he's exaggerating.
Capital.
Multiple rapes in New York.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote,
no, all these white boys that shooting up schools, we need to talk about
American history.
The ones who stormed the Capitol, that's who we need to talk about, the terrorists.
Undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything.
Hey, he ain't lying, though.
He's the one that killed people.
When no country trying to press no buttons.
Hundreds of thousands of people
Ukraine wasn't
dying,
invaded. Israel
and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and he just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street.
Living in Trump Tower.
Because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans.
Man,
Nobody's been worse. I have the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in. And it's a very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one.
Joe.
For example, veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living one of the next one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma.
Your son spent a year in Krakow, sir.
In France
for
D-Day.
I ain't even know Hunter Biden. That's probably why he on crack.
I went to the World War II cemetery.
Starting to make sense.
He refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers.
Like you got influenza
My
or
son
some
was not
shit,
a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
You should, you shouldn't have brought up his son. You shouldn't have brought. Oh, you about to get cooked.
Yeah, you don't fuck up. You fucking with Big T.
He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up.
Man, look at Joe, man. He about to stall out.
16 economists are talking. It's the same
thing. Look pissed right now. Look at
agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't.
Somebody go get his man a shot.
From his son Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Ooh, he should. He should be.
Your side was on your staff who said you said it. Period. That's number one.
Period.
Capital T.
City girls. Like he definitely.
The idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than
he say period one more time, dog. Like
American history.
Kamala writing this shit.
Now or their family.
It ain't on the shot. Let me look at the doggone shot list one more time. Mike sent over a shot list.
Kamala wrote this shit for all the period shit. You been hanging out with her too much.
They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its
the
third
ninja
year.
policies. When we get into our policies.
That's what I'm waiting on. I don't give a damn about none of these doggone.
They ain't talking about it. It's 16 they can't talk about.
They've been talking about Roe vs. Wade since I've been able to hear politics.
Abandons its bid to join NATO.
Man, let's get on these social justice issues.
Nah, I want to hear this foreign shit.
Our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them.
My man wasted like 5 seconds on insults.
Single bit of information. As far as Russia get to the and policies. Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded.
He's wasting all his time on insults.
A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals like I fired the one that you mentioned. And so he's got no love.
Get him out of here.
He should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of
Big T, none of them generals want to work for your ass, though.
Soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated.
You know none of them motherfuckers ain't want to work for Big T.
We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is
he talked to Putin about his dream?
Ukraine.
I want to hear some policies.
Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke.
Voting for like class president.
I wouldn't let anybody do business with them.
Yeah, it is worse
than
that.
Money. They were broke.
I think my class president's got more sense than these motherfuckers.
For anything.
Motherfucker tell me they'll give us pizza every Friday. I might vote for them right now. So I ain't learned shit. So they just like, pizza for everybody every Friday.
I'm trying to tell you.
Never heard.
But it got to be a vegan pizza, ain't it?
Look, the fact of the matter is,
let's see. That's his Biden policies.
Let's take the last point first. Yeah. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president. They attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one.
He assassinated the top general.
We got over 100,000
he can't debate you and Trump,
others out of Afghanistan.
Y'all time up.
Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops.
Go ahead, slide my dog Mike here, put a comment down there.
President Trump,
I never said that.
For 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question.
Oh, yeah, Putin and Kim Jong-un is definitely laughing at this shit. But Kim Jong-un can laugh all he want to laugh at that little ass shit he got going over there. We'll run down on that shit.
This is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on
what
January
you gonna
20th.
do, Pete? What you gonna do, Big T?
People being killed so
Start giving away
needlessly,
beans to Trump one.
and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
Oh, yeah, they need some more traction than them boots that they got over there.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then do you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine?
Yeah, no.
What do you think
Putin
happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you
Kim
want a war,
Jong-un, see this soft ass down. I don't care nothing about his little chubby ass. He too.
If in fact he does what he says and walks away. By the way, all that money we give Ukraine and from weapons we make here in the United States, we give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're still.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East.
The weapons
they give them all the used weapons from Chicago.
Killing more than 1,000 people and taking
And they
hundreds
got the new
of
shit
hostages. Among those held and thought to still be
Chicago,
alive are
that's the way they go test the pistols out at.
Israel's response has built
Chicago
test
them out. You got to get the money from somewhere, Joe. Somebody paying for the weapons. I know when you ain't dropping money down. You're giving them the weapons. It's just the same.
Proposal to resolve this conflict. But so far, Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one,
don't beef, fellas.
Everyone from the United Nations Security Council.
Whoa.
Straight through the G7.
Well, I'm malfunctioned up there.
Damn, I got to take a shot. Mike said I got to take a shot every time this motherfucker
just 3 stages.
stall out.
The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire.
Damn, I got to take another shot.
Second phase is a ceasefire.
How? Why ain't you doing that now?
Third phase is
they've been fighting since October. Why you ain't
wants the war to continue?
Why you ain't negotiated this already?
You
could be up one.
Hey, bro, listen.
You do this
y'all
every
next.
time.
Yeah,
y'all next, bro.
What's happened
every time.
in Israel? We're finding the only thing I've denied Israel.
Motherfucker trying to sway the vote, ain't it?
Yeah. You see,
don't work
you
very well
politicking
in
with Trump.
areas. They kill a lot of innocent
Y'all
people.
2 minutes next, bro.
Providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way,
how long is this shit? 'Cause I don't think Joe gonna make it.
He malfunctioning already. I think they only did like 45 minutes.
Intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt.
Your ass,
one Israeli was accidentally killed.
Watch Nova be quiet the whole time Trump talks.
We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer.
And you respect like it's at church. He can raise his hand and try to speak.
And so they're 2 different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us, Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all. You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean. If we're able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe, what happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO?
What does that look
We have
like?
an Article 5 agreement. Attack on
He's
one,
saying that,
attack
but he's
on
going to do
all.
the same shit.
You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then.
Me personally, I don't think neither one of these motherfuckers got an answer to
By
that
the
shit.
way, I
what
got
they-
50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that,
Told you.
The problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, they don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question. Would you guard us against Russia at a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that
Why
time?
you getting away with the
They said,
secrets?
no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what
Why
happened?
you getting away?
Billions and
Illuminati
billions of
meetings and
dollars
shit,
came
man.
You already
flowing
got in
in the
trouble
next
for secret
day and the
documents.
next
The
month.
fuck is going on,
Giving
bro?
away
Now
classified
we're in the same
meetings.
position.
Yeah,
We're paying
secret
everything
meeting, only
else.
28 people
Oh,
at the
cut the
meeting.
tape.
Issue of democracy, a former president.
Diddy showed up.
I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters
what's
that
up,
day,
Steph?
some of them
I
stormed
brought
the
Steph over
Capitol
to
to
YouTube
stop
so
the
you can pin that
constitutionally
comment.
mandated
She's
counting
going
of
off
electoral
and-
votes.
Oh, yeah, we gonna have
As
pin- I
president,
know
you
Steph
swore an
on.
oath
Steph,
to
what
quote,
up?
preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution.
Come in peace.
What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th.
Let's hear
On
it.
January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes
man,
ever.
you know what the hell we
had the
talking
lowest
about January
regulations
6th.
ever.
Oh,
On
yeah,
January 6th, we were
January
respected all
6th,
over the
y'all
world.
ran down on the
All over
Capitol.
world we were respected.
Yeah.
And then he comes in, and we're now
I
left
seen
at
Nova in
like
that bitch with
bunch of
a
stupid
Viking
people.
cap.
Nova led them motherfuckers. Nova led the
States'
charge.
reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including
He ain't said
weaponization,
shit
which
about
I'm sure
January
at some
6th.
point you'll be talking about, where he goes
Change
after
it.
his political opponent
Change the
because he can't
conversation
beat
like
him
a
fair
woman,
and square.
like a wife.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to
post that
those
comment.
voters
Sleepy
who
Joe, you gotta
believe
cook 'em on this one.
violated your
Russian
constitutional
immigrant.
oath
Let's
for
see
your
this.
actions and inaction
Sleepy
on
Joe, you gotta
January
cook
6,
'em on this
2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I
Sleepy
didn't
Joe
say
can't
that to
cook nothing.
anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically.
he
And Nancy
taking over the time
Pelosi,
again.
if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility.
Taking
I
up
was
Joe's time.
responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said,
nah, bro, you led them boys to the house, girl.
You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it.
No, but what you got to say about your boy leading your people to the house?
And I offered it to her, and she now admits she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that
some real shit, though.
He went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court. And they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out, and now he says that he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Trump had no time.
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which
the whole
is
Minnesota shit with George Floyd.
Two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats. They destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted,
really is a felon.
deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody.
I can't even hire a motherfucking felon in the Coast Guard. And this motherfucker running the country.
Occupied offices, turned over desks.
He's a better candidate right now. Like
the idea that those people.
It's like cognitively.
Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the problem?
Let me hire some felons, then we'll fix the military problem.
Yeah, damn sure will. Load up in Chicago.
These guys? We denounce the people we're talking about now?
You got one running the country. Let me hire these motherfuckers. We ain't got Trump. That's how we send all the felons.
Put Steph comment up there.
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border. Telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
The hell Malcolm X got to do with his stack?
We're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky.
He ain't no president.
You're lucky. I did nothing
Shout out to
wrong.
Malcolm,
We'd
my
have
guy,
a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Actually,
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir.
I got my boy.
Well, you want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean,
you did that to a porn star while wife?
You have the morals of an alley cat.
The morals of an alley cat.
Number one.
Joe got him one in. Look at her.
And moved. They moved.
I don't know, but Joe got him one in.
DOJ into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, judge, Democrat.
You know you got him one with that one too.
The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are.
He don't look at it. He's smiling
about these cases. You know what they did? My poll numbers went up way up. You know that because you're reporting it.
I needed that.
More money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win.
Trump hot, boy.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy.
When are they going to talk about like shit that pertains to the people, bro? Like,
this is our political system. Trump will be voting against American democracy.
Like,
the more they know about what he's done,
serious, bro.
The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what to do.
Joe getting this shit off.
But I do know
where
he has
is
a
the
real problem.
policies, Joe?
And so
Joe getting this shit off.
Did President say that I'm going to
came for the jokes.
Do you ever hear any presidents say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again. Until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him.
They said, some good people.
What do you think of those people? The people the ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones he said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say? Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches.
J Stub, you right.
What up? Same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas.
This kind of shit the entire time, bro. Like,
this is a guy who says
they say some shit that pertains to y'all life.
You know what
now they're just trying to strike up the emotions of the people. Like look,
President Trump.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out. Because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on that.
You put a 3-page paragraph. We can't put that comment up there, though.
He didn't run because of Charlottesville.
That motherfucker takes the whole screen, ain't
it? He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency is, without question, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see.
This is every year. This is what goes
on. Every reasonable actor has.
We the entertainment country, bro. We entertaining the world right now.
It's
that's our biggest export, entertainment.
He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
Instagram, Twitter beef right now.
President Biden?
I'm just glad niggas ain't getting involved with like the doggone verses right now.
And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president.
We don't care nothing about the torches and stuff no more.
The idea that he's talking about all this being fabricated. We saw with our own eyes. We saw.
We know both of y'all motherfuckers racist.
We saw the people breaking
Joe, what are
windows.
you talking about?
We saw people
You
occupying
already said, James.
his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why?
Damn.
Why? They know
his own vice president ain't endorsed him.
Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate.
That motherfucker worked side by side with him.
Bro,
he's like, yeah, I seen this. I seen this shit.
This is. We have.
If his own vice president ain't endorsed him, that's some wild shit though.
You could minimize that till they come back.
Yeah. Yeah, a whole bunch of nothing, man. It's hard to take the political system, like the entire process, serious, man. That's why, like, local level, I can get busy, but dog, like, this is unserious, bro. Like, they debating what Roe versus Wade every 4 years, the same stuff, bro. Like,
It ain't,
no
and they
real.
haven't. You're right. They haven't talked about one tangible action.
Nothing progressive.
actionable-
Nothing progressive. Like what they're bringing new to the country, economic wise, technology wise. Nothing like that, bro. It's just like you should be showcasing, like kind of like a business pitch to the people.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the vibes of what it should be, bro. A business pitch to the people. But
yeah,
unfortunately, we get like it's entertaining, you know, but that's all it is.
Yep.
Entertaining.
That's it. They just go on a bunch of accusations, going back and forth. Just like what are we talking? You haven't told us anything about how you gonna curb.
Man, lock that man up, man. Let's get this shit over with, man. Lock him up and doggone put Sleepy Joe to bed and find somebody else that's able to run the damn country. They do a doggone reshuffle. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta make no rash decisions right now. Reshuffle this shit. Neither one of these motherfuckers know what the hell they got going on.
You know what this is? This Zeus Network debate. This is Zeus Network debate right here.
I agree with that.
Them boys ain't giving us nothing of substance. Just a bunch of accusations. How you gonna trim down a $34 trillion deficit? What's your plan to cut that? What's your plan?
I don't care about that shit either. I don't hear about some real shit, man, real life shit. The deficit, you think I wake up in the morning like, God damn, the American deficit's really like, we got to figure this shit out, bro.
I want to talk about some nigga shit. Let's talk about these reparations. Let's talk about
let's talk some progressive things, man. Real talk. Like let's talk like impress me. You want my vote? Yeah, you want my vote as a black man? Yeah, like none of that shit y'all talking pertains to what I got going on. But if one of y'all let the R word,
let's talk about closing the motherfucking wealth gap. Let's talk about that.
I'll be out there, bitch. I'll be out there waving Biden flags like a motherfucker if he get that reparations shit going. I'll be like them Trumpers.
What is tax 100%?
I'm flying flags and all that shit about Biden. If he ever say reparations, I'm telling you, I'm pulling up. Cause you got my vote.
Hey, Jay, you right. That's what this is. A bunch of name calling going back and forth.
Clout chasing
is unserious.
What is it going to do?
Clout chasing for the nigga vote.
We'll keep spending. Nobody has ever audited and accounted for every penny that we spend and what we spend it on. We out here just writing blank checks for what? Budget is so fat. You got all these dead projects. Infrastructure is trash.
No, damn, this stats stalled out like doggone Biden did.
I know, right? Bridges falling apart.
All like the people we talking to, our audience, bro, they ain't worried about the country's like finance. They trying to worry about their own finances and shit, man.
Hell yeah. They looking at
ain't none of us waking up talking about, man, the deficit's fucked up, man. We got to figure this shit out, bro. Everybody on our like watching this waking up like, man, what they get us some reparations or something like that, bro? Like,
Glow.
Some first time home buy programs, some shit they could put us on some federal grants or some shit, bro. Some
Glow
checks. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit, bro. But the deficit, man, fuck that deficit.
Yeah, no, motherfucker like, damn, I just went to Costco. That motherfucker like $1,000 bill.
Black mothers are still 3 times more
they
likely
brought these
to die.
That motherfucker back. Here we go.
Hold on.
Black Americans are imprisoned at 5 times the rate of white Americans. What do you say to black voters who are disappointed that you have
black people don't get emotional about this shit.
I acknowledge you made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two, the wages of black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number three, we're trying to provide housing for black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporate corporations that collude
say reparations.
to keep people out of their houses. In addition to that, we find that
he said reparations
the impact on the
I swear for God.
choice that black families have to make relative to child care.
Kamala, you got to put this shit in here.
Incredibly difficult. When we did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce black child care costs. I cut them in half. We got to make sure we provide for child care.
Trump know most of these motherfuckers ain't taking care of the kids anyway.
When you provide that child care protections,
So we got
you
different
increase
prices.
economic growth because more people can be
It's a
in
WIC
the
program.
job market. So
He gave a boost to
there's
our
more to
food
be done,
stamp card.
considerably more to be done. But we've done a great deal so far, and I'm not letting up, and they know it.
You have 49 seconds left.
Yeah, you talking about?
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any black family, first-time home buyer, should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals who provided had to take out student loans.
This is going to be tough for Trump. I want to see how you get out of
And
this.
if they were engaged in
Quite the
nursing,
pickle.
doctor,
But Joe got Kodak out of jail. That nigga got rid of my student loans,
They
boy.
paid their bills for 10 years.
I free Kodak, baby.
All the rest was forgiven after 10 years. Millions have benefited from that. And we're going to do a whole lot more for black families.
Thank you, President Trump.
Yeah, they ain't said shit. They ain't said reparations.
He's blaming inflation, and he's right. It's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't
talk to the
buy
black
groceries
people.
anymore. They
Stop
can't.
trolling.
You look at the cost of food where it's doubled and tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused
They
this
ain't got no
inflation.
plan
I
for
gave
us, bro.
him a country with
Nigga, get to the student
essentially
loans and
inflation.
reparations.
It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all of the other, all this money that's being thrown out.
He about
the
to just
window.
rambled out.
He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there,
Your boy about to
the
ramble, bro.
fact is that his big kill on the
He's
black
talking about
people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black
I mean, the
jobs.
black people come through.
No,
that
he talking that
motherfucking
shit. No, he
It
talking
could
that
be
shit.
19 and even 20 million people.
He talking
They're
that shit
taking
right now,
black
now.
jobs, and they're taking
Yo.
Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to
He
see
taking
something that's
Hispanic
going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I just had a motherfucking dog on. I had a motherfucking crawl through my attic. Tell me some man.
The economy was flat on its back. 15% unemployment. He decimated the economy, absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We
So
made
they
sure
admit-
that
they
have
admit
health
that it's the
insurance.
inflation?
We have covered. The ACA has increased. I made sure that there are $8,000 per person in a family to get written off for the health care.
But I didn't hear
But this
Trump
guy wants to
policy on what
eliminate
he
that.
gonna
They
do.
tried 50 times.
No,
he
they
wants to
ain't
get
got
rid
no
of the
plan.
ACA again. And they're going
Neither
to
one
try
ain't got
again.
no
if they
plan
win.
for us.
But he said
They're
the
in
shit
a
with the
position
student
where
loan.
The idea
He
that
said some
we're not
tax
doing
credit
it,
shit
I
for
put
first
more-
home buyers.
We put more police on the
And
street.
they ain't got no-
than
neither one of them got no
administration
gangster shit
has.
going on
He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for equity. Equity
I
and
had like
making sure
doggone
people
20
are not
20
shot
G's I
and
was
naked.
had to pay in
There's a lot
student
going
loans. That
on.
motherfucker
And
wiped that bitch
inflation,
away.
He caused it by his tremendous
I ain't mad
amount
at
of
you.
feasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
Thank you. Another persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest
They got off
year
for
in
niggas
recorded
quick, didn't they?
history.
But they ain't got, they ain't have shit for it. They ain't say
We
shit.
might as well go ahead and log off now.
They ain't say shit, bro. They was like, fuck y'all, man. They ain't, like, they ain't think about saying reparations.
Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate
doing another
initiative.
tax
all y'all,
Will you take any
I hope all y'all
action
Both of
motherfuckers
them look like they done
to
shit in
slow
their
the climate
pants.
crisis?
Exactly.
Let me just go back to what he said about the police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group.
We know
And what
both
he's
y'all
done
blue
to the
lives matter.
black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name. And he called it to him for 10, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening.
Malfunction.
But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform,
just rallying
for the historically
both of y'all
black
racists, we know,
colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job, great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea, and it was a great idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are blacks. And that's why we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever the best numbers.
Different, ain't it?
He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job
he sounded like my
for
teacher today.
Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started.
You talking that real
shit? You haven't seen anything yet.
That's
it's
what the fuck I be saying.
38 seconds left.
They lower the price and they taking jobs away from
to slow the climate crisis.
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water. And I want
I just had an illegal motherfucker who came in with trying to charge me $2,000 to climb through an attic because niggas don't want to do it.
And we did.
And he ain't got no doggone
all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And
there's
yet,
black people that do that
during my
too.
4 years, I had the best environmental numbers.
And he said, "Call
ever.
them," and I called them, and them motherfuckers' price ain't $2,000.
Statistic just before I walked on the stage.
But they do
actually.
it.
I don't know where the hell he's been.
Saying like the prices, as somebody worked in that industry, I could break it down to you like how immigration has like ruined
most extensive climate change legislation,
landscaping, pest control industry.
We find ourselves
like,
on
some real
way,
shit.
Black colleges.
We talk about that.
It's a land of opportunity.
$50 billion for HBCUs.
It's a lot of jobs that motherfuckers just don't want to do
because they don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just don't have the money. But now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something to have the cleanest water.
When he started talking, bro.
Cleanest water? He hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it because if we reach 1.5 degrees Celsius at any one point, where there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done.
What y'all gonna do?
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones. It was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it. And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country.
Connecting with Big T, bro. He be talking that real shit about this shit.
And they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
He ain't lying about that. They're overwhelming.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence.
That's his thing. He's going to tell y'all that the migrants is fucking up everything.
How can we do anything? We're not able to, the United States can't get us.
Because that's what
one of the
his
largest
base wants
polluters in the world. Number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half.
This is like every country monitors that. I understand like every country monitors that, and the people should be concerned because we are losing jobs. Like you could say that black people don't want, but the stats are showing that certain jobs are going from the black class to immigration class, and the pay of that job is dropping. So you can pay illegal immigrants cheaper than what you would pay a black person. So while we may do a job, we're not going to do it for the same price as them. We'll do the job, but not for that lower price. And that's jobs leaving our community. And it's just
but the difference is these different communities, like the Chinese communities, they will come over here, live with each other, and work with each other, and build in their community. Our community wants to sit there and fight each other.
Two different conversations.
That's the difference. The Chinese will come over here, they will all live with each other. The Mexicans will come over here, all live with each other, and build, and all work on the same restaurant.
Nothing is done to Social Security. Seniors will see their benefits.
No, we're talking about like the way
over 10 years.
Like
Will you name tonight one specific
step? A Chinese family will come over here and work a job that a Mexican family will come over here and work a job that the average American, black American, wouldn't want to work. The whole family will build in that same job that the average black American
the people that have the job, the rich people are offering these jobs at a very low price. So you say, they're so prideful they'll come do these jobs. No, pay the job at a just 1%. It's a different conversation what we have, and we're talking about immigration.
Cost of Social Security for
immigration and jobs.
But the people
that's the whole conversation. Like
the dude who's climbing on attic is an entrepreneur. He's not somebody who's working for somebody.
To be able to guarantee the program.
Yeah, then this is not the same conversation.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing will do is we defeat this man. Because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut.
Of migrants, so they abruptly cut the funding for the flood for the people that are citizens and gave all that.
Hey, you know what would make your customer service help desk way better? Dumping it and then switching to Intercom. But you're not quite ready to make that change. We get it. That's why Finn, the world's leading AI customer service agent, is now available on every help desk. Finn can instantly resolve up to 80% of your tickets, which makes your customers happier and gets you off the customer service rep hiring treadmill. Finn by Intercom, the leading customer service AI agent, now available on every help desk.
Instacart is on a mission to have you not leave the couch this basketball season. Because between the pre-game rituals and the post-game interviews, it can be difficult to find time for everything else. So let Instacart take care of your game day snacks or weekly restocks and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because we hear it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. So download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days, excludes restaurants.
Money to the immigrants. Basically kick people out of hotels.
We nice as black people, bro. Like, we just be liberal. Like, yeah, everybody come here. Everybody deserves opportunity because we feel that we deserve those opportunities. So we liberally like give away a lot of our rights, bro, and we become the afterthought to a lot of the things that we fought for.
Look at the trucking industry.
Yeah,
you got all
another
the
one.
Immigrants,
yes,
truck driving now, and they undercutting all the truck drivers.
All the truck is undercutting. That's what I'm saying. You saying black people don't want to drive trucks? Of course, but not for the same price that they're willing to drive at. Like, they're undercutting and they're cutting out our economy, our ecosystem a little bit. So it's not about like having beef with immigration at all. Like, my grandparents were immigrants, but as an American, like, you just got to look at it for what it is. Black American, they're taking away from our work class, lowering the prices, and it's messing up like our families and our communities. Like, that's just what it is. It's just plain.
8 years.
I just think the jobs that them people come in here to work, niggas ain't trying to work.
He lies. I've never seen it. He could look you in the face. About so many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine. Everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it. Because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden?
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it, number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where
like a motherfucker,
all of these millions and millions, the way he talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world, the reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony. Those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession, and inflation is going to increase.
You see what Steph said?
And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care for two children is more
just talking
than
about
their
truck
rent.
drivers, bro.
In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him.
Bro, nobody gives a
The other
shit
thing
about
is,
what you said, bro.
He doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people.
Drain the swamp.
But they were no
Maybe
good.
Rob was right,
these
Trey.
people. I didn't put him there. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fired. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody?
What you like to hear when you come when you sit down and hear your boy Big T? Like what's your topic you want to hear him just speak on? The deficit, the climate. That's your bad.
From mental institutions, did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed?
And
Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate.
Ridiculous.
He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed
Trump
our
FTK
country.
stuff.
Now all of a sudden
He
he's
all
trying to
about
get a little
FTK.
tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit.
These boys
like
ain't talking
this
about
much.
shit,
It's
man. Just tell
insignificant.
one of y'all promised
He
free
wants
peace
open
on Fridays. Y'all got
He
my
wants our
vote.
country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people as voters.
A field day every month, like
I
that
don't
type
think-
shit.
We just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance.
No, either one of y'all
coming out
win
of
it.
this rut.
We fucked
We
either
probably
way.
won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We are the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest
No,
military
y'all
in the
making
history
this
of
shit
the world.
embarrassing.
The finest in the history
Mr.
of the
Biden.
world. No one thinks we're weak.
You be
Nobody
getting lost in
wants to screw around with us. Nobody. Number one. Number
This is
two,
our
the
option.
Nobody
idea
over the age of
that we're
35
talking about worst
is
president.
qualified.
I wasn't joking.
I'll vote for
Look
Charleston
it up.
White if he
Go
had a
online.
vote.
159 or 58, I don't know
Real
the
shit.
exact number.
I think he would have more
Because that's
like
her
real
story.
policies
They
that
had
relate to me.
meetings and they
You know what I'm
voted. He was
saying?
the worst president in American history. One through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a
both
fact.
reciting the same
That's not conjecture.
talking points, bro.
He can argue
Like,
they're wrong.
this is
but
a
that's what they
10-year-old
voted.
argument.
The idea that he is
You were the
wrong
worst. No, you were the
doing
worst.
anything to deal with child care. He did for virtually nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should
We should.
significantly
Give me-
increase the
give me
availability
50
of
bands.
women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses to have
Thank
See,
you,
if
President
affordable-
Biden.
affordable
President Trump,
child
the
care
question
ain't
was
even-
about what
I wanna
would
hear
you
shit
do to
I
make
care
child
about.
care more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have
You don't give a shit
polling,
about
we
our
have
kids.
other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me. I'll show you.
FTK,
I will
bro.
show you. And they rate me one of the best. Okay. And
This is a
if I'm
10-year
given
argument,
another
bro.
4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever
I'm with you still.
created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us.
8,000.
He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times.
I
He
called
wants to
this shit,
raise
bro. I said, this
everybody's
motherfucker gonna
taxes
run again
by
and
4
win.
times. He wants the Trump
I said this
tax
shit
cuts
when
to
after the
us.
January 6th shit.
Everybody, including
I'm
the
talking about
two
like
of
a
you,
while
will pay
ago.
4
I
to
said,
5
dog,
times.
he's gonna
Nobody
run
ever heard
again
of this
and
before.
win.
All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes.
I'm gonna go pull-
When we cut
I gotta go
taxes,
pull
as
them
I
shows,
said,
bro.
We did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
He ain't
y'all-
said one
y'all-
thing about
He's
child care.
dead wrong
He don't give a
about-
shit about y'all
He's increased
kids.
He will increase taxes on middle-class people. I said I'd never raise a tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more because they're going to have to pay the difference in food.
No, I just get it off
Things that were important. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised. He somehow helped the middle class. The middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You have the largest deficit of any president in American history, number one. Number two, you have not, in fact...
BT had a large deficit? That's your bag, isn't it? How you just abandon your bag for Big T?
We are the lowest trade deficit with China
since
2010.
Thank you, President Biden.
When he took office in 2017,
let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl.
I'm waiting on it too.
What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our
went back
country
to the
under this
shit.
guy.
Yeah.
We have the largest
Bro, man, your boy whack,
deficit.
bro. Your boy ain't shit, dog. Your boy keep going back to old
He gets
shit.
money from China.
Dog got
So I
little
think he's
facts.
afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come. But he hasn't done that.
This man
But he
hijacked the
hasn't
whole
cut the tariffs
debate.
because
He don't give a shit.
because it's too much money. But he's got
Trump
the
said,
largest
fuck the
deficit in the history of our country, and he's got
said,
the
fuck
worst,
the order of the
the
debate.
worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing
Trump
them
ain't got that.
to
I'm
do
with
what they're
Stephen.
doing
Trump,
to
that
us.
motherfucker got no plans, dog. This
They are
motherfucker just want to
killing
sit up here
us
and
as a
troll
country,
people,
Joe,
dog.
and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
Biden
So,
ain't got a
President
plan
Trump,
this
Oh,
time.
see, there you go. See, there you
The
go.
question was, what are you going to do to help America?
Both of these motherfuckers ass.
Addiction
I won't
right
put
now
that out there.
struggling
No.
to get the treatment they need.
All right,
I
now I gotta hit the
doing
drugs.
very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before,
Well,
any
that extra
country,
time.
in every way. And then we had to get tough, and it was the drugs pouring across the border were it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you
Then he
seen the
came
numbers
along.
now?
This shit
His
It's
son
not
came
about
along. His
18
son, the
million
drug
people that I believe is
son.
even low because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways. But the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we used the machinery
That's
that can
'cause
detect fentanyl.
Hunter was
Those big
locked
machines
up.
that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs.
The fuck is a
more
fentanyl machine?
numbers of agents, more numbers of.
I don't think they got them in the hood yet.
And when we had that deal done, he went
trying to
and
hear
called
about shit
his
for me, bro. I
Republican
ain't no
colleagues and said,
drugs,
"Don't
so
do
I don't know
it.
that
It's
shit."
going to hurt me politically." No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now struggling.
He had to tell him, hey, the question
Like we ain't got the money or some shit. Like we need those. Why we ain't got them? What the fuck going on?
Yeah, to remind that motherfucker what the question is about.
Yeah, in Ukraine right now. Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done. Hard
get our shit
negotiations
back.
with Mexico, and I got
This
it all
ain't
for
our
nothing.
best.
It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion
Where
for a hostage.
Hillary
Every time
at?
we say it's
Shit,
a
put
hostage.
her up there.
Now
That
we have
nigga
a
talking about
hostage.
hostages.
Journal reporter.
He done brought up gun hostages on a drug conversation.
He's over there because Putin is
Let him
laughing
get
at
his
this
shit
guy,
off.
probably asking for billions of dollars.
No, Putin laughing at both of you
The
motherfuckers.
reporter. I will have
Yeah,
him
Putin
out.
won't. He happy. He doggone licking his chops right now.
Before I take
Like,
office,
yeah, I'm
I
gonna fuck
said,
both of them up.
Literally, as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago. But Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time.
Like, save
we
yourself.
Have 2 cases where we paid $6 billion.
I don't care who
for 5
you vote
people.
for when it's time to vote.
58
Neither you think
people out.
one of
Can I
these
pose
chumps
a
finna come
sexually
save your life
Thank you,
and
President
change
Trump.
anything in your day-to-day life. Neither one of these chumps is about to affect y'all day-to-day lives
President
in a
Biden,
positive way.
You would be 86
I promise you that.
at the end of your
Still
second
go
term.
vote, do your thing, but
How do you address
ain't no damn way.
concerns about
Save
your
yourself.
capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized as being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person.
Well,
ever
them
elected to the
damn
United States
tables
Senate.
have turned,
I'm the
motherfucker.
oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less.
Fuck.
confident. I think you just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look, I've turned around the horrible situation we left.
If you went from being the
As I
youngest
said,
person in
15
politics to the
million
oldest
jobs,
person in politics, you probably been in it too long.
More investment in America.
Dead giveaway.
Billions
Dead
of dollars
giveaway.
in private
Oh, you know, that's a brag.
in enterprises that we are growing.
Nigga thought that was a
By the way, We
flex.
brought an awful lot of
He
people.
did. Nah, but that ain't a good
The
thing.
whole idea of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We
You
invented
should be like, yeah, both of us about
and
the
we
same
lost it
age.
because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South
Man,
Korea.
turn these old
and
ass
convinced
motherfuckers off,
Samsung
dog.
to
Talk
invest
some shit.
billions of dollars here in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
United
yeah.
States.
We cool
And
on
then
this shit. We out.
Guess what?
They ain't
Those
talking about
fabs.
shit.
they
He the
call
best
them,
argument for term them.
to build these chips. Those fabs pay over
Elaborate.
$100,000.
Yeah,
Don't need a
I
college
want
degree
Stephanie
for it.
elaborate on
There's
that.
billions, about $40 billion already being.
I need to know.
We can always bring it back up. We can mute it for a little bit. We'll tap back in with them boys. They got some trade. They got you at the top screen, cuz.
You got me on the doggone monsters jam, ain't it?
What's up with
Damn, I was on there for 2 seconds.
it? Kicking it.
I'm kicking a little bit.
So what y'all thought overall, man? We wasted our time a little bit. I mean, I thought it was entertaining.
It's,
Per
it's
usual.
entertaining the back and forth, but they haven't really gave us any policies or anything tangible to take to say, okay. All I got from that is Trump has more wits about him than Biden. We see who's the sharper one.
No, see how he did. See what he did there. See what he did right there. Well, you smooth operator.
Joe got some shit off. Like, I don't know why you acting like Joe ain't get some shit off. Joe got some shit off, bro. The alley cat shit, and then like he was in his bag with a felon. Like he hit him back to back with some shit.
It was so slow and stuttery.
Yeah, it
messed up
was
the
rough
delivery.
getting
It
it
don't
off,
hit
but he
as
got
hard.
it off.
It don't hit as hard.
The
Alley cat
Trump
was
joke,
funny though.
Alley cat was hilarious.
No, yeah, that's it. See what I noticed. You biased with your shit. You're not all like equal opportunity with your troll. No, like you just spearheaded on making sure like, yeah, Joe fucked up on this. Yeah, they both are whack.
Bro, they literally talking
I was
about
listening
who's
to
stronger.
Yeah. I was listening to some pre-show on MSNBC, and they were talking about like the new rules and the format of this debate and how you couldn't have anybody. So this is the first time they're doing commercial breaks, and it's also like you can't have nobody there like to go in the corner like a boxing ring and like have somebody coach you up and to ask questions. I think they should, right? Like the dude on MSNBC gave it the idea like he should probably have some of his running mates and cabinet people in there to discuss like topics and shit like that, you know.
Give them feedback.
Give them mics and shit like that so we can hear. I mean, that's how you get to a presidential situation, right? You get to see how he communicate with his team, his staff, how they break down shit, what he brings back to the debate. I think the debate could be like a little bit better and progressive than this format they got right here. This don't do shit for nobody. Like, if they want us to believe this is what presidents sit around all day and do, and this is not what they do. They doing real gangster shit.
These dudes
they making real
about-
gangster ass decisions, and we're talking about like
they're arguing about
who changing
handicaps.
diapers and shit. Yeah.
Who you about to say no?
They arguing about who can carry their golf equipment right now. Like, this is what we accepted in this country, bro. This is the shit.
What else we gonna do about it?
The fuck, bro.
Well, I think we all need to
throwing
rebel.
the Capitol with a Viking hat. Like,
let's go.
What we gonna do about it?
Just don't vote for neither one of these. I think that's the best bet of rebelling is not voting for neither one of these motherfuckers. Though.
Man,
to be real with you, I think that
would show up.
Man, these folks finna go vote, boy.
She said y'all missing Trump's questions. Y'all want to hear this shit again? Bring it back up. Let's see what.
Bring it back up. Everybody wants to see it. I'm with it.
Yeah.
I got it in my ear.
Yeah. Lock his ass up.
You know you gotta let that Trump ring off in your ear.
Yeah. That boy, he go
probably
sleep
go
to that
sleep to
shit.
Trump.
If the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent because he indicted me because I was his opponent.
Nigga, you a criminal.
He was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies
I need both of y'all motherfuckers to bow out.
Insane.
I need both of y'all to be like, yeah.
Insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III. And we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III. And he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
They don't respect neither one of you chumps. We just told y'all.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5.
They
attack
trying
on
to fear
one
monger
is attack
people
on
again.
all, and required response. The
Nah,
idea,
that boy, he gonna
I
buy
can't
some
think of
war
a
shit.
single major leader in the world who wouldn't
You ain't taking
trade
Trump
places
serious
with the
about
job
no-
I've
no
done,
war.
what they've done.
Fuck out of here.
Because we are a powerful
Trump
nation.
a gangster.
We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed.
That motherfucker gonna be happy to go to the draft when Trump get in that bitch.
And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens.
I'll go fight for that
in Hungary
motherfucker.
and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might.
Oh, you want to answer that shit?
Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me.
Off, man.
But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me.
No, Trump.
And he's going to take Ukraine.
They put him in
And,
see, we
you
going
asked
to
me a
World War
question before,
12.
would you do this?
Yeah.
He's got us
First
in
quarter.
such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia.
Boy, the way
Because Ukraine's
these
not winning that
motherfucking
war.
Army and Navy
He said,
motherfuckers
"I
on
will never
TikTok.
settle until such time." They're running out
We
of
in-
people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many
Yeah, they
people.
got- he
It's
mocked
so
them.
sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions.
Trump
Russia
ain't
would
wanna
have
answer
never
that shit.
attacked if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was, will you accept the
She had to
results
remind
of
this nigga
election,
again what the
regardless of
motherfucking
who
question
wins?
is.
Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you
He
want,
threw
we'll
that
have
if
a
in
news
there, though.
conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week.
What
But
threw that if in
I
there?
will absolutely. There's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did.
Cap.
He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else in a nice location someplace. And again, No indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up by numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued to appeal to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local. None. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea, if you lose again, you accept it. You can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
Talk that shit, Joe.
We'll be right back.
Joe
said that was a crybaby bitch.
No, Joe might be up 1-0. Joe might be up 1-0, bro. I don't know, but I think the first debate might go to Joe, bro.
Yeah, Joe got the first.
Here are the 5 things you need to know to start your day.
Get the news you need.
How about this for an earnings call headline?
In 5 minutes or less.
Bravo.
No, ain't trying to hit it.
Giving no free advertisement and shit. We ain't rocking like that. They ain't paying us. No, what you got? How you reading it, man? What's the compy box on the match right now?
Yeah, where you at?
I got Trump up 7 rounds.
Cap.
To 1.
You got Trump up 7 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how you saw the tank fight too.
Yeah. This how we know. This dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
Nah,
man. It's just jokes at this point, and I think he's just getting his jabs off. I thought Trump would have way more jokes, but he's like in a more serious bag than they have been in the past. Is what I say.
Yeah, I think America takes the L on this.
No, you trying to take America. You don't want to say your boy ain't shit. Just say it.
No,
just be like, hey man, hey.
We ain't got to nothing that's tangible, man. They would start. They'll give you a little.
Who put out the most policies though? Out of the
Neither
two.
one
This
of
is
them.
like
One you got in office. The thing is, he has
your boy dodged a lot of shit, dog.
No,
your boy dodged.
Listen, Joe hasn't talked about any of his policies that he is in office right now that he's doing. He ain't spoke to it. He didn't speak to any of them. He didn't speak to any of them.
I'm with Gray Boy Jit, man.
He didn't speak to not one policy he got in place right now
it off of jokes.
that we're benefiting
just
from.
Like knee slaps. This is what I'm here for. This is an unserious country, so I ain't rating this on no like policy. There ain't no shit going down that I care about. Roe versus Wade, boy, I ain't going to the abortion clinic no time soon, boy. They ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I have an opinion about it, but for us to debate the same shit and not to get to like the cloth of what's going on in the economy and what's going on for the working class people, like real shit. No real shit.
Yeah, the reason why I give Joe the edge because it was too many times where like Trump ain't stick to the question. He didn't answer the question. He always like will like find a way to like weasel out and not answer what the fuck the narrator was talking about. And then they would have to bring it back up again for him and like to the question. When they say that, like when he go through this whole little rant of his, he spent all his time.
He low key getting more time to talk though. Yeah, what he does is he follows up what Biden just talked about. He got to answer all the little snaps and Biden just did, and then they still need that answer, the answer, you know, from that question. So after he finished his 2-minute rant, they still got to ask him the question that they originally asked him. So he getting to double talk a little bit. It's actually smart.
Biden can't even answer, can't even rebuttal. He can only answer the question because he can only remember the few seconds that's in front of him, and then he got to hurry up and recite.
Trump on the cup.
He can't go offhand. But man, it's just all I learned is Biden is an 8 handicap. He can't hit the ball more than 50 yards. He said Trump can't carry his own bags.
These guys we vote for, bro. Y'all for stand outside in the hot ass line to vote for these numbnuts.
These motherfuckers a joke, man.
This is incredible. I don't think people this age should be running the country, bro. Like
most people closing statements.
Closing statements. Okay.
This about to be classic. This about to be doggone classic right here. Entertainment. Damn, why they put the doggone sleepy joke first?
Those left by President Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes and will not. And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit, number one. He's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did, when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for the ability to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what?
Wrap it up.
We got it down to $55 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did?
Get the hell
that
out of there,
reduced
Joe. You
the federal debt by $160 billion over time.
Hey man, somebody throw in the fucking towel.
I'm going to make
throw in the fucking towel.
Senior, all along where it's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care.
How the hell you think I vote for either one of these
credits people have for child care? I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all the stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president.
No, but he's telling you to gas up the Charger to go to Charlottesville.
What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Gosh almighty, man. I can't believe.
In the foreign countries out there, if y'all watching, pray for us. Keep us in your prayers.
We don't want no problems.
We sorry. We was just playing. We sorry.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Japan, y'all still got an advertisement for niggas? Might need to go ahead and get a massages.
You gonna go get a massage in Japan? Nah, you
they say, hey, niggas fly free. They say niggas fly free.
We dead either way. Run for the hills. Nah,
they got to do more than draft, dog, because ain't none of these young boys finna go sign up for this type of shit.
They got what they got.
I don't blame them either.
What they got the immigrants?
There's no way. I wish y'all, you got a tough job, Trey.
Yeah.
like
we full. We at 130% emission right now. We full. We tapped out. We don't even need y'all little motherfuckers no more.
It's only 10
they
people
need
in the
us.
Coast Guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They looking at it like, they see all these Navy niggas and Army niggas on TikTok shaking ass and doing all types of random ass shit. They're like, nah, bro. Hey, we signing up with y'all.
Oh, that's crazy. They twerking for recruits.
These motherfuckers go on TikTok. These motherfuckers shaking ass all on TikTok. I'm like, yo, what the fuck y'all got going on?
I mean, Coast Guard got a few that should be probably shaking their. I mean, I don't know, bro. I'd be scrolling.
No, we could business shop closed. Shop closed.
Okay. Yeah. But for the regular military people, it's a tough ask, bro, to have some young kid want to be patriotic watching this type of shit.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's hard, bro. It's just hard because I gathered nothing. I walked away from this enthused about nothing, bro. Like I say, I know his handicap in golf.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how we gonna cut climate change.
The last decent debate was with Barack. That's the last decent one. Since then, it's been this type of shit, bro. Every single year, I'm like, yo, what is this, man? This isn't presidential. This isn't what we grew up watching. Even though it was repetitive, like they've been doing the Roe versus Wade shit for forever, right?
Yeah,
it's repetitive, but it was presidential and it was like real, thought out shit in a, articulate, combative situation going on. This is clown show shit, bro.
Yeah,
I can't take this serious, man.
Minstrel shit
at all. And Steph right about the fact check, man. Like I don't know no state that's killing babies after they're born 9 months.
No, Trump will say anything. He don't give a shit. It's not. Trump will say absolutely. He don't give one shit.
Trump trying to get them boys riled up and hot.
They just asked him, "Hey man, if you win, are you gonna be a sore loser again?" And he was like, "Shit, man, I don't know. Like if it's fair, like I don't know, shit might go down again.
I don't know."
And then you ramble. And then they had to bring it back and ask him again.
Hey,
he pretty much told everybody like if shit get a little weird with the votes, like we may run down. Like
we're gonna run down on y'all boys, man. It might be worse this time though, but don't play with me.
This time I got a couple niggas leading the charge. I got my dude over,
and you gonna get stumped out with some gold boots and hit with the Bible.
Gold boots from the boot.
Yeah, gold boots with the in the Bible.
My African American.
It's like two old drinking buddies arguing, bro, about nothing.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Two old drinking buddies that's arguing about nothing, bro. Like alley cats, golf clubs, convicted felons. Like what?
Man.
How you gonna fight climate change? Nobody said how they gonna do it. He just talked about, I pulled out.
You ever been like misconstrued like for like voting for a certain party?
What you mean?
So Mike's on he's in the comments. So our instructor, he was in the elevator. And then he white, big country ass white dude. And other white dude looked at him and like, yeah, go Trump or some shit. None of us was in. We don't know what transpired on the elevator, but he came back to the class fire hot. He came back to that class mad. And he was like, I can't believe that guy got mad at me because I said, like both of these candidates are dipshits. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude was trying to, because he had on the Trump starter kit. Like from the outside looking in, he looked like he's a Trump voter. Big white dude, cowboy hat, big belt buckle with American flag on at the bottom of it. Say God bless.
That's why TSA got you. That's why TSA got you.
If they do that to us, we'd be like, what am I racist?
Right.
Sometimes it'd be good observations. So
So they did it. So one of his kind did it to him. So he came back to the class mad. Talking about this shit. Me and Mike just looking at each other like, damn, I thought you. Shit, we thought the same thing.
You need to step down. I'm gonna stick to local politics this go around. It might be our best bet. That's where we're gonna hold true to America right there.
That's why from the gate I said, like, pay attention to this shit. Like, look at what we fucking listening to. Like, none of this, like, how is this gonna change our day-to-day lives, man? Like, none of this affects us.
Meanwhile,
tagging
social media.
Meanwhile, Jeff Landry in Louisiana, he put the 10 Commandments back in classroom. He cut funding for the parks out there. That dude is unhinged over there in Louisiana right now, bro. Jeff Landry.
What do you mean by he put the 10 Commandments back in school? Like, what do you mean? Like,
they got to be displayed in the class in classrooms now.
You beefing with the 10 Commandments?
No, because now what other religions? Other religions going to be like, what about us? But
this is a Christian country.
You can't say that. This is a melting pot.
Yeah, you can. Of course you can.
No, you can't. That's isolating everybody. That's Muslim, Jews.
No,
but you go to other countries.
They do the same thing. Like, what are we talking about? Like, America's getting too soft. Like, real shit. I respect everybody's religion, but this is what other countries do, bro. Like, and that's how you lose the country's pride. That's why people ain't signing up for the military and they ain't patriotic and shit, because like we too fucking friendly. We open the borders, everybody come hang out. It's just a free for all. No, like,
what's wrong with the 10 Commandments though? Most
my thing is, how you gonna put the 10 Commandments in there, but then take the real teaching of the history out? You got a problem with learning about true American history, even the brutalities of American history, but it's okay to put this religious stuff in there, but it's not okay to learn about actual American history. That's why I don't sign off on it. I can't applaud you on this hand, but then say,
I'm not applauding either way. I'm just like,
I just don't agree with it, bro.
I'm just ain't beefing with the 10 Commandments. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, you read all of the 10 and the motherfuckers, I'm like, that's most business structures are based off the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, this is solid. This is solid. I teach my son this shit anyway. So I'm like, 10 Commandments. You're like, this is solid.
I ain't mad at the 10 Commandments. Like,
solid. I'm just saying, man, we can't even learn about our true American history, but I put them 10 Commandments up there.
But before history,
I'm not saying put either one. They just did it, right? You know, I don't give a shit. If they wouldn't have done it, we wouldn't be talking about it. But they did it.
Shouldn't do it at all.
Up, so I'm just
shouldn't do it at all, man. Okay. Go to school.
They got the 10 Commandments up. I ain't mad at that, man. Yeah. I don't know why that was a gripe by you, bro. That's why I'm like, why?
Yeah, what they learn? What they learn at home? Like, they ain't learn no what commandments they got at the crib. No, they ain't. You ain't teaching none of that religion shit at the house.
Just be good human.
Now, 10 Commandments is solid though.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's like core principles. It's no different than like core values, though. It's just like, I ain't mad at 10 Commandments because it's a lot of the religions are like the same commandments. Like, so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I was about to take it to a deep bag, but we already an hour and 38 in. I'm about to go somewhere.
Nova, he in his shell bag right now.
What?
No, remember how Shell was last show? That's how Nova is right now.
What? No, I ain't like that.
What happened with Shell last show? Kush be big, bro. I be missing some things.
Yeah,
we too many. We told her stories was too terrible too many times.
Yeah.
She was ready to
stories
fight.
Was terrible though.
She was ready to fight.
Some of the worst stories I ever heard about life. I still love her like a sister though.
Hey, we don't mean nothing about that stats because I know you in the comments.
My whole thing
is, gonna tell her right now, baby, they be talking about you.
My whole thing about the 10 Commandments, and I'll say this: the reason why I ain't rocking with it in class is because we can't learn about true American history, and they use the 10 Commandments to enslave us and indoctrinate us into Christianity, and we can't learn about our own culture, but we got to learn
Are they teaching it or just displayed?
It's displayed, and you got to see it, so you're going to inquire about it.
They're not teaching it though.
It's still there though. That's what they use.
Both things can be true though. Like both things can be true. Like I think it'll be cool if they had both. It's unfortunate that they don't tell true history at all in our history books, man. Yeah. Whoever wins the war, write the history books, and they can spend their lives however they want to spend them. You just got to believe it or dig, and get some truth yourself. And that's in every country, not just America. But I would like both. Like both things. I don't think we got to do an either or on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my opinion. I get if you don't rock with the 10 Commandments, then that's your thing. But like for me, it's not an either or. Like I think the 10 Commandments is dope for like the average kid to walk by and see on a regular basis. Like as an athlete, when I walked into the gym and I'm seeing whatever those inspirational quotes was about champions and shit like that, What the fuck just happened? Did my computer crash?
Maybe. But you still going full speed on this end. You still good. So keep it rolling like
okay, cool.
Rolling like ain't nothing.
It's weird. It's weird though. I don't know what just happened.
Put what Dylan said up there.
I can't see shit. What do you mean put it?
Oh,
hold on.
Oh, I'll read it all.
Oh, here we go. I don't know what just happened. That was wild.
Oh, we got a whole voicemail we ain't play. We got a whole fucking voicemail.
Bottom line, the white man peddle Christianity to instill fear. Yeah, I mean, it ain't just white men, bro. Like since the beginning of the time, like King James Bible, like was rewritten. Like, if you believe in spirituality and you believe there's a God and all that, right? That can be a thing. Like, I want to just be fair to everybody's like perspective. So that could be a thing if you believe in God. And also somebody could take those beliefs and people could use it to manipulate you. Like that's a thing too. You have crooked preachers. You have people that like of King James was a politician directing a Bible. He was a king. That's like Donald Trump and Nova going to buy that Trump Bible, that type shit. It's the same vibes. Like, well, you like, why is this king overseeing a spiritual book? Like, because it's to control the people. And that's what religion does in a lot of aspects, not just us. It controls the entire world. Like, people go blow up buildings because of their beliefs and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that sacrifice their lives for religion. It's not just us. So, and those people a lot of times are manipulated to go blow themselves up and sacrifice themselves for the sake of a religion. Like, did y'all see the Jim Jones shit? That's what I meant to talk to y'all about. The documentary, Jim Jones, man. I didn't realize there was that many damn black people at the Jim Jones shit.
It was like
the church shit.
Yeah, out there in Ghana. Grenada, I think it was.
Grenada.
He had a whole colony. Took them from San Francisco, boy, had them out there. The feds was about to come out there, and he had them drink from the Kool-Aid, the barrel of the Kool-Aid. He made barrels of Kool-Aid.
Did you watch the documentary? He didn't. All of them didn't drink the Kool-Aid.
I know some of them escaped. Some of them was shot dead.
Some of them were injected with that shit.
Yeah, taken down. He even got the Congress lady.
Where's the documentary at? You talking about?
I think it's on Hulu. Am I mistaken?
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, boy, that's where the terminology drink the Kool-Aid come from. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Jim Jones.
I was familiar with that. I just didn't. I was familiar with like Jim Jones and the cult and all of that, but I was not familiar with the fact that it was that many black people.
Bro,
right?
It was a lot, bro.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
It's still some
that caught me
survivors.
off guard.
It's still some survivors that made it out. Some people had left right before everything went haywire because they seen the writing on the wall. Some people got caught and beat and they were killed. They were killed for it. That dude was just, man, like he took all those people. He had a church up in San Francisco, finessed all them people, and they followed him, bro, in droves. Droves all the way down there. And the thing is, the country turned a blind eye to what he was doing down there because he was paying them off and stuff. They just let him do whatever he wanted.
It's just like the motherfucking people who stormed the Capitol.
No, but back to that shit, like. No, I think that shit is wild. I think the whole cult thing, like that whole watching that documentary, just bro, just open your eyes to like how like they manipulate and control you with your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like we lead off of emotions a lot. You feel me? But that shit caught me by surprise. And if you haven't seen that documentary, just go watch. I think it's a very well done documentary. His son's in it, speaking from his perspective, and his differences with his dad and all that, bro. Like, yeah, I think it was well put together. Some dope shit. I learned a lot.
And they were all
like
black.
Three-part series.
That's the crazy thing. They were all black, bro.
There was some white people out there, but I was shocked that it was like mostly black people.
It was like 98% black.
Like, this is crazy as hell.
Yeah.
He erased a significant. It's like almost 900 people died, I think. It's a lot of people,
bro. As they pull, they're like you can see they got footage.
Yeah, where they flying over the compound and they just spread out
like confetti on the ground type shit, bro.
They just spread out, bro.
It's the wildest shit ever.
Yeah, big blue barrels of Kool-Aid, man, poison.
Yeah,
and he was injecting, forcing it into their mouths, all kind of stuff, bro. If you didn't want it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know how much power you gotta yield over somebody's mind to be able to manipulate them. 900 people, bro. You got 900 people to die. That boy say Thanos some Kool-Aid.
He said apple and orange, but it's the same. It's in the same diaspora, in my opinion. But y'all want to listen to the voicemail?
Yeah.
Fire that up. Play that and get up out of here. What was at the bottom?
Yeah.
You still gotta play it. I can't play it. I can't see all the damn comments on this damn, man. My computer did something weird. I don't know what's going on.
I don't mind me. I'm just looking for the play button.
That what you get for laughing at me earlier. Cause
we ain't got no tech support, man. This is, this is self-produced. We do it on the fly.
That's a good observation.
We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. And while we doing this, y'all see the phone number down in the bottom. Call in, engage with us. Tell more people to come hang out with us. Check us out. I don't know if we're doing the next debate. We can't be wasting y'all time. We got better shit to talk about than be fooling around with Big Joe.
That shit was. I can't do that no more. I ain't got time to be doggone.
That was a good case study for the people, though, bro. I think we got to all see as a family, like, what type of shenanigans. They talked about black people for like 3 minutes and got up out of there real quick. Trump ain't talking about it for black people like for 1 minute. He just said that Biden called us super predators and shit.
Just giving y'all boys y'all flowers. Appreciate everything. I go way back, all the way to the first episode, all the way when they had my boy Champagne Reek on the. Again, just giving you boys flowers. Just appreciate the new format. Seeing the show elevate from where it started from to where it is now. Just appreciate everything y'all do for the culture, from everything, from the therapy talk to life gems that you drop on us and funny, everything, man. Just appreciate y'all and just keep praying that God bless y'all with much more fire content that y'all get to people. And y'all had me on that question of the celebrity y'all want to punch in the face. You was right. I damn sure, living in Florida, want to punch the hell out of goddamn Ron DeSatan's face. He done messed up Florida even worse. But hey, that's what we got to deal with. So just again, prayers up to you boys. Thank y'all for the dope content y'all give us each and every week. And God bless.
That's fire, bro.
What's up? So who is that?
Love, man.
J Stub.
Oh, J Stub. J Stub.
Appreciate you, Jay, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's love, man.
That's love right there, man. Good looking out.
We got some dog some merch, man.
Yeah, we got. Hey, J Stub, shoot us your addy, man. Shoot us your address.
Show the people what shirt you got on. What's your shit before we get up out? What shenanigans you got on right there, man?
See that right there? I mean, Stat Start, man. It say lock him up, man.
I bet you won't go around January 6th and with it.
You better not leave Atlanta with that shit on.
No, I can't. Yeah, you're right. I might can't leave Atlanta with this shit on.
No, don't
I can't go to the airport.
If you drive outside of Atlanta in Georgia with that shirt on, it might be the last time we see you, my brother.
Go to Athens with that on. Andrew.
Oh man,
he getting punched.
No, see the beauty about Atlanta, you Georgia, period. You can ride around with that thing. I can go to Athens.
Yeah.
I can go to Georgia and Florida with it. Like Georgia and Florida, I can keep that heat on me. So yeah, I can go.
But they riding down, they riding down about 10 trucks
deep, man. Yeah,
10 trucks
deep, man. You talking about you got your one pistol, man. The boy got assault shit busting through the back of your window. You trying to get out of Dodge with the recruiter car that got a got a governor on it and shit.
Oh, yeah. You can't even smash the gas in that motherfucker.
That's what.
He got an EcoBoost. He got an EcoBoost, man.
Y'all ain't tell one lie. Cause I'm definitely. And they ain't gonna shoot. They ain't gonna see. That's what's gonna save my life. Cause I'm like, damn. That motherfucker, he for the country. He for the people. I ain't finna shoot.
Nah, they're gonna say we draining the swamp. That's why we got him. We draining the swamp.
Is that what you told the rally before you took him to the? Is that what you told them boys?
He know. He be at the Maggie's. He know what they gonna say.
We draining the swamp.
I forgot you leading the charge on the next shit.
Yeah. My African American.
He gonna send a motherfucker my address. Damn, we gotta get this nigga off here.
Oh, man. That boy gonna try to stump on that Eco Boost. That bitch gonna stall out on him.
Yeah, you done told him. He done sent them boy my location. Damn.
Yeah, for sure.
Get this nigga out of here, man.
Right, bro. All right, man. Peace, love, and blessings. We'll catch y'all on Sunday. We're gonna switch up the day. Damn, I'm talking like Biden. We're gonna switch up the days here in a minute and go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
You know? Peace, love, and blessings. We out here. It's the Coach Uncut Podcast, man. Here.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. By the time you hear about a data breach, your information has already been exposed for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where hackers have access to your personal data. That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that monitors the dark web for your phone number, email, and social security number, sending real-time alerts if your info is found. It also includes a VPN, password manager, and data broker removal to help keep you safe. For a limited time, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and protect your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hey, you know what'd be fun? If we could go back to the 80s and watch all those awesome summer movies at the multiplex? You read my mind. Hi, he's Javier Grillo-Marxuach, Emmy-winning writer-producer of Lost, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, and The Witcher. And he's Paul Alvaro Dijkstra, co-founder of Fantastic Fest. Join us on our cinematic adventure that is Multiplex Overthruster. Our entire first season is now available, spanning the summer of '82. We're talking Star Trek II, E.T., Blade Runner, Tron, Rocky III. And on Memorial Day weekend, we kick off the summer of '83 with new episodes weekly covering Return of the Jedi, War Games, Trading Places, Krull. So we'll see you in line at the Multiplex. Multiplex Overthruster.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.